This item is Find Memory Care Empathy Doll, and we see this quite widely used within the care industry, especially in care homes and hospital settings. Well, today I'm joined by Karen Clayton, dementia specialist for Find Memory Care, and she's going to talk about the doll. So Karen, welcome, and here we can see the doll dressed beautifully. Can you tell me about her?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time looking at doll therapy because, as you say, it is quite controversial, and it's what do you want the doll to do? How do you want it to react? And there's lots out there. There's cloth ones, there's ones that cry, very weighted ones. For us, we wanted to keep it simple. We wanted something that felt soft to touch, was reasonably weighted but not heavy, because you don't want anybody to have an imbalance when they're lifting her. Yeah, it comes with two sets of clothes, so it can be dressed as a girl or a baby boy, which is then down to the person. So somebody who's had boys all their life, or somebody who's wanted a boy, may want it dressed as a boy. It doesn't cry because we don't want anybody to be distressed. Using the dolls is very personal. It's got to be very personal centred assessment. You would never give the doll to somebody as a baby. Ideally, you want the doll to be there to see whether a person would take the doll. And it tends to be people who are very maternal. So if you've had animals all your life, you're not going to want to cuddle a baby. But what she brings is an emotional connection. So for somebody who has dementia, they can't connect to the same with people anymore. They don't have the same ties to family. But to have a doll that is not demanding, but is something for them to care for, does literally give them an emotional tie that keeps them calm. It's not a baby, it is a doll, but you wouldn't contradict somebody who has it and thinks it's a baby. It's that fine balance between being in a person's reality and making sure that you're not lying to them.
Okay, so in some of the care homes I've visited, they've really welcomed this and engaged, and I've seen many residents walking with dolls. Of various dolls, there's many on the marketplace, as you said. But one of the things I did notice in one care home is that they actually welcomed it by giving the lady a pushchair. They also gave a high chair and really made it part of her life. How do you feel about that?
I think it very much depends on the person. If it's right for that one individual, because they really do have a strong connection, if it keeps them calm, if they're happy, if it keeps them active, so they're walking with a pushchair, there's nothing wrong with it. I think families, you say, do have a problem with it, but I think they see them playing with a doll. They don't recognise, they don't understand the emotional connection that they get from that doll. So you wouldn't get, as I say, it's very much down to the individual as to how much you do. And from my personal viewpoint, I would say you don't give them the doll, you don't give them the high chair, you don't give them the pushchair. They're available, and it's for the patient or the resident to actively take an interest, because then you know they've chosen it.
Yeah, thank you so much. This item, the empathy doll, isn't going to be right for everyone. You have to always risk assess. One of the right things that Karen said is, let's see what the residents do. Many homes will place a doll in various places, and if a resident collects that doll and then starts to act with it or look after it and build a relationship with it, then actually is that a bad thing? But we never force something on a person. We always allow them that control. And I think part of it in the dementia setting is they have control over this and it's theirs. And it's so important that we give a level of control to the people that unfortunately have had all of their control stripped.